Tourists are disappearing, stabbing suspects are walking free, iconic nightlife seems to be collapsing, and people keep falling off the same damn waterfall. This is either the worst travel vlog of all time or the most elite level investigative journalism that YouTube has ever seen. Brought to you by a man whose only credentials are having watched 2 seasons of Narcos and a few visa stamps. Get ready to consume some of the most high-level news broadcasting you have ever seen. Come with me. Hello friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends, make an account for your dog, subscribe on there as well, and then head on over and subscribe to my OnlyFans. Thank you so much.
Ew, dude! What the?
Forget all that. Like we said, today, elite-level journalism, and every day from here on out. Yet again, Thailand has decided that I don't need to touch grass. I don't need to go outside or see sunlight. It has rained for 3 days straight. And with being cooped up, I have delved into the deepest regions that is Thailand news. So with that, we are taking a deep dive into some of the wildest stories coming out of Thailand this week. But enough gabagool, let's get into our first story. Our first story today, coming from Pattaya Mail, fading neon. Pattaya's traditional bar scene faces harsh new reality. Man, you Pattaya degenerate expats, this one's for you, so you better pay attention. In Pattaya, the bar scene has long been one of the city's defining features, a mix of neon lights, cold beers, and casual conversation that has drawn in countless Western tourists and long-term visitors over the decades. But recently, many traditional beer bars are struggling. Despite the return of tourists post-pandemic and the nightlife seemingly in full swing, bar owners quietly admit business isn't what it used to be. Walk down streets and you'll still see girls calling out to passerbys. That's absolutely true. Pool tables lit up and music spilling onto the street. But inside many of those bars, stools sit empty for hours. Bar owners are cutting staff, closing early, or listing their venues for sale, often with no takers. To understand the decline, you have to understand what a traditional Pattaya bar really is. It's not a nightclub, it's not a go-go, definitely not a high-end cocktail lounge. It's a simple setup. Stools, cheap drinks, good banter, and a chance to flirt with the staff. This model was built to serve mostly Western men, Brits, Aussies, Germans, Americans, guys in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and beyond. Many came for a long stay, not just a weekend. They understood the rhythm of the bar scene, knew what to expect, and were comfortable in it. But that crowd is aging. Amen. Many are traveling less, some have passed on, and others are tightening their wallets as global economic uncertainty bites. A new wave of tourists, often younger and from different cultural backgrounds, has arrived. And here's where it gets sensitive. Indian, Russian, and East Asian, Oriental, do people still say that? I thought that was like a no-no word at this point. Anyways, tourists are increasing, dominating Pattaya's tourism numbers, but their spending patterns and social habits are different. Yes, they are. For various cultural, linguistic, or personal reasons, they don't tend to spend time or money in Pattaya's traditional beer bars. Instead, they might prefer shopping malls, beachside photo ops, or upscale venues and hookah lounges. That's not a judgment, just the reality of different preferences. And when bars were built for a certain kind of customer who's no longer coming in the same numbers, the gap becomes impossible to ignore. Owners are trying to adapt. Some are remodeling, turning beer bars into small cafes or sports bars. Others are hanging on, hoping the tide will turn. But the truth is, Pattaya's bar culture, as it once was, may be fading into memory. The question is whether the bars can transform with it or whether they'll be left behind in the flickering glow of their own neon lights. Now, my opinion on this, because I know that's why you're here, at least when it comes to Pattaya, I think the biggest part of this is just how many of these types of bars there are. All over Pattaya, Jomtien, there has to be thousands. So I think there's no real way you could expect all these places to be full. There's just not that many tourists here. The reality is, if you're planning on operating a bar in Pattaya, you better be in a very popular district where people are gonna be walking by and want to come in, or you better set yourself apart in whatever way, especially if you're gonna be in a place where people have to travel there specifically to come to your bar. I don't really think cheap drinks and pretty girls is gonna do it anymore. A lot of places have that to offer. Moving on to our next story, coming straight out of Grand Theft Auto Online, French man stabbed outside of Phuket club. British suspect escapes. A violent assault between two foreign tourists outside a nightclub in Phuket has left a French national seriously injured. The victim, identified as Mr. Nubel, was stabbed multiple times, while one suspect, a British citizen, has already fled Thailand. A second suspect from the Middle East remains at large as police continue their investigation. Knife crime from a British person? That sounds crazy. I'm not sure I believe it. The incident occurred at 4 a.m. on May 11th outside an entertainment venue in Today, Junior? Churntale, Talang District, Phuket, but only came to light 2 days later. Churntale police are still searching for the Middle Eastern suspect believed to remain in Thailand. Little pro tip, because you know I give the best advice. If you got stabbed by somebody multiple times and you would like to press charges, which you should, I would highly recommend that you file a police report before 2 days later. Mr. Nubel continues to receive treatment at a hospital after suffering 3 stab wounds to his waist and back. Emergency responders from the Churntale Sub-District Administration Organization, that is a mouthful, provided first aid before transporting him to Talang Hospital. Well, maybe that's why, in all fairness, he wasn't able to put in the report if he is like in serious intensive care. All right, fair enough. Investigators from Churntale Police Station examined the crime scene, took photographs, and interviewed witnesses. According to reports, the victim and the perpetrators had been involved in a fistfight inside the bar before moving outside, while approximately 4 English-speaking foreign men attacked the victim. One of the assailants drew a knife and stabbed the victim before all suspects fled in a gray Mazda 2. Another pro tip, coming from somebody who absolutely used to be the idiot that would go out drinking and pick bar fights. Rule number 1, don't fight somebody that has a group full of friends. There's no rules in street fighting. If you beat up their friend or their friend tackles you, you're gonna get kicked in the head at least. Or at most, something like this where the other friend is gonna sneak up behind you and stab you. We've said it 100 times, but I guess not enough people are watching these videos. Do not come to Thailand and pick a fight. You will lose every single time, whether that be with other foreigners or locals. You're gonna get in trouble, you're gonna get arrested. If this guy ever comes back to Thailand, he's absolutely burnt. And I don't know, maybe Thailand will try to pursue charges even though he left. I would be lying if I told you I know how all that stuff works. Now, covering our next story, I'm kind of in a weird position because I do feel bad about what happened to this guy. I'm a person who very much enjoys the outdoors, so I understand if that's not something you're doing a lot, it could be easy to not understand the risks of where you are and what you're doing. But at the same time, this is not the first instance of this happening. I have personally seen at least 2 reports of this happening. Coming from the Thai Examiner, UK tourist deadly waterfall plunge leaves him with massive injuries. 4 others have already died there. A UK tourist, Liam Gibson, suffers life-changing injuries after falling at the dangerous Nam Muang Waterfall 2 in Thailand. His family is raising funds for costly medical bills and reparation while calling for urgent safety measures at the site. A UK-based friends and family campaign is now underway to raise funds for yet another foreign tourist seriously injured in Thailand. This time, it is a 21-year-old Liam Gibson, a young British soldier who narrowly survived a near-fatal flaw at the notorious Nam Muang Waterfall 2 on Koh Samui. Previously, the site has claimed the lives of at least 4 tourists between 2019 and 2023, so these are all fairly recent. Liam was lucky to survive thanks in large part to the swift actions of his courageous girlfriend Lucy, who helped keep him alive until rescue teams arrived. Shout out to Lucy. Find you a girl like that, boys. Despite surviving the fall, Liam suffered devastating injuries, including a crushed leg. He now faces mounting medical bills after weeks in a Thai hospital. His family is urgently seeking to bring him back to the UK where he can receive further treatment, particularly critical surgery on his femur. Luckily in Thailand, at least compared to America, I don't really know how the UK works. In America, if something like this happened to you and you had to go get surgeries or take a life flight in the helicopter or something, you are looking at least hundreds of thousands of dollars. So at least in Thailand, things are gonna be a little bit cheaper. Hopefully this guy had travel insurance. Absolutely, guys. You can get great travel insurance for like $20 to $30 a month. Do it. It's absolutely worth it. Hopefully you never have to use it, but it's one of those things. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. As far as the safety regulations and rules go at this place, personally, one of my favorite things about Thailand is, for the most part, in most places, you're kind of left to fend for yourself. They just kind of trust everybody to do their own things, and sometimes Darwin Awards end up being given. Now, me personally, I really like that aspect of Thailand, but what do you guys think? Do you think Thailand should be kind of moving more towards the Western attitude to these type of things? Oh, put fences up everywhere. You can't allow people to go up to waterfalls because then they're gonna fall, so now nobody goes up there. Let me know down in the comments. Now, moving on in the article, they had discovered the location online. There's a lot of advertising, especially on social media, making it look like a fun day out, Lucy said. However, the trip turned disastrous when Liam lost his footing on a smooth rock surface while innocently trying to take a photo. His feet suddenly slipped beneath him. He began sliding quickly down the rock face, unable to stop. It was just completely smooth. There was nothing to hold on to. He kept picking up speed, then he went straight over the edge. Miraculously, Liam did not fall to the bottom. Instead, he landed on a rock ledge halfway down the cliff. According to Lucy, that rock likely saved his life. If he'd fallen all the way down, he would have died on the spot. As a fellow outdoorsman, this story definitely strikes close to home. But guys, if you're gonna be doing these things, going to these type of places, obviously, you gotta be safe, man. No Instagram photo is worth dealing with what Liam is now. If you guys would like to help out in their campaign to get him home and help with some of these medical expenses, I will leave a link to it down in the description below. And finally, it is time for the craziest story of the week award. Sounding like a script straight from an HBO mini docuseries. Coming from dailymail.co.uk, shock update on British girl 18 reported missing on holiday in Thailand as she is found in a hellish situation 4,000 miles away. Okay, don't look at the screen. Don't read anything. I want to know down in the comments what your guess is right now. This story came out a few days ago. I saw it all over social media that this girl was missing. I figured she was out partying somewhere, maybe sleeping off a hangover for a few days. But come to find out, it is a very different story that I don't think any of you or myself could have ever guessed. Let's check it out. A British teenager who was reported missing while she was said to be holidaying in Thailand. Holidaying? Is that a word? I feel like that's not a word. Why? Just on holiday? I don't know. Moving on. Has been arrested 4,000 miles away. Bella May Colley, 18, sparked a massive international search operation this week as she hadn't been in touch with her family since Saturday. That is absolutely true. It was everywhere, all over Facebook, all over Instagram, all over TikTok. It has tonight been revealed the teen from Billingham, County Durham, has actually been arrested on drug offenses 4,000 miles away in Georgia. For all my American people, that's Georgia, the country, not Georgia, the state. Colley was said to have been on holiday with a friend when she vanished. Her phone was said to have been turned off, and she was last thought to be in the Pattaya area, which is close to Bangkok. But now, Cleveland police has said that the authorities in Georgia have confirmed that an 18-year-old woman from Billingham has been arrested there on suspicion of drug offenses and that she remains in their custody. Footage shared by the Georgian broadcasters appear to show the 18-year-old girl be walked through the Central Criminal Police Department in Tbilisi while in handcuffs. Colley had allegedly been caught with 14 kilograms of cannabis. 14 kilograms, 2.2 pounds per kilogram. It's like 32 pounds, something like that. Into the ex-Soviet nation after she was flagged during a scanner check at Tbilisi International Airport. If you know how to say that, drop it down in the comments. A local report claimed that during an inspection, 34 hermetically sealed packages containing marijuana were found in the passenger's bag, as well as 20 packages of hashish. Colley was reportedly charged with illegally purchasing and storing a particularly large amount of narcotics, allegedly purchasing and storing the narcotic drug marijuana, and illegally porting it into Georgia. The country's interior ministry said the committed crime envisions up to 20 years or life imprisonment. This is not the first story we've covered of people that are seemingly coming to Thailand, buying a bunch of buds, and then trying to fly to other countries. Guys, I hope I do not have to tell you that drug smuggling, especially when you're taking it across country lines, it is a very big deal in pretty much every country that you will ever go to. And no, I am not condoning nor am I giving you advice on doing this, but if it was me, allegedly, I feel like the last thing I would try to do it with is weed, because weed smells and you have to have so much of it to make the trip worthwhile. You'd think you'd do it with something that was a little bit easier to hide. Local media reported that while she requested bail, the judge overseeing the case decided to imprison her as she posed a flight risk. That is another thing to think about. If you are a foreigner in pretty much any country and you commit a crime, the chances of you getting bail are pretty much next to none. Same thing goes with Vitaly, that tool of a streamer that got arrested in the Philippines. They're not going to give him bail because obviously they know you're very likely to try to leave and go back to your country. Questions remain as to how exactly Coley ended up in Georgia and what her steps were in the lead up. The teenager's family said she first flew out to the Philippines just after Easter this year and flew to Thailand around May 3rd. Coley had been regularly posting on social media. Her distraught family earlier appealed for help to trace her whereabouts with police in Thailand involved in the search. Coley, who has recently finished a course at Middlesbrough College with the aim of becoming a nurse, was in regular contact with her mother, Leanne Kennedy, and was due to speak with her on Saturday. Her father, Neil Coley, flew out to Thailand with his sister, Carrie, to try to get answers. Well, terrible news for her, but honestly, probably pretty good news for her family. I would assume if I had children and they had gone missing in a foreign country, I would be absolutely terrified and just automatically assuming the worst. So I suppose if it ended up being they were in jail in an Eastern European country for apparent drug trafficking, well, I'm not sure if I would feel better or worse about it. To me, this story seems absolutely crazy. There's part of me that totally believes like, hey, this girl really tried to do this. She's 18. If you want to talk about making stupid decisions at 18, 19, boy, I have made plenty of them. But also there's another part of me that it just seems kind of strange. And to Georgia, of all places, I guess it would pay dividends to know if maybe she has friends in Georgia or something like that. If she doesn't have any connections there, I feel like this story is very strange. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. And good for you for staying and hanging out and taking in some of the best journalism on the internet, so now you know what's really happening. And of course, if you'd like to be updated the next time we upload a video, as well as go live so you can come be a part of these breakdowns, go like right here or here, wherever it is, and click subscribe. And as always, I hope you guys have a great day. You can get out of my house now.